Shalom, 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 Yasha Allah, shalom, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Yawana representing the Warriors for Yahushai Michigan Camp. Before we start off, I want to give all praise, honor, infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who taught us his truth. And a hearty shalom to all the Akim and Akbaf tuning in. Shalom, shalom. Now today's lesson, we're going to go into Pride, man. All right, going into, this thing called Pride Month that they do every June. June 1st is the beginning of so-called Pride Month, okay? And if you didn't know what Pride Month is, let me see if I can get up the definition for Pride Month. All right, pride. Pride generally refers to a deep satisfaction with one's own or another's achievement, but is most prominently known as global movement for the LG, equality and self-affirmation. All right, so pride goes into basically that rainbow gang agenda. All right, let's see if I can get this. All right, the Lord is not dealing with Pride Month. All right. This is Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction. All right, so if you're a prideful person, you're in that pride spirit, the rainbow gang agenda, hey, destruction is coming to you. The Lord is going to destroy you. According to Bible prophecy, the Lord is not dealing with the LG. The Lord's not dealing with, the rainbow gang agenda, man with man, woman with woman. The Lord's not dealing with that. All right. And a hardy spirit before a fall. So the Lord is not dealing with pride. What's another one? All right. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 18. Pride was not made for men, so it was never set up for men, women, and children to be prideful. All right, it was never set up for you to be serving, the LG, the rainbow gang agendas. The Lord did not set that up for the Israelite men, women, and children. Nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman. So you're not supposed to be prideful or, a furious anger person. You're always mad, you're always upset. Okay, the Lord's not dealing with that. All right, so yeah. Man, the Lord's not dealing with Pride Month. Pride Month, sometimes specified as LG Pride Month, is a month-long observance dedicated to the celebration of LG Pride, commemorating the contributions of les, G, bi, trans, and queer culture and community. All right, so let's go into scriptures and prove why the Lord is not dealing with this. All right. So this is Leviticus chapter 20 and 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, so a man lying down with another man as he will lay down with a woman, both of them have committed abomination. All right, what is an abomination? Let's get that. All right, an abomination.
Abomination
is in a thing or action or person that causes extreme disgust. Who are you causing extreme disgust to? Yahweh, who you ignorantly call God, okay, his son Yahushai, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, and the angels. You're causing extreme disgust by being a part of that rainbow gang agenda, all right, by being in that Pride Month. It says disgust, hatred, and loathing. It describes something so vile, vicious, morally offensive that is met with intense aversion. So the Lord is not dealing with, all right, the LG, all right, it's super offensive to him. The Lord looks at it like a bad smell. All right, it's terrible. It's an abomination. The Lord's not dealing with it. It says they shall surely be put to death. So according to the scriptures, if you're a man lying down with another man, according to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, right, the man the one you really call God in Jesus Christ, they say you should surely be put to death. So if you're following after Pride Month, the LG, you know what? If you're one of these men, women, or children that be in these churches, these whorehouses, Christianity, Catholic, even Muslim, whatever. If you're one of these people that's out there, in these churches, you're a carpet muncher, you're you're a man trying to portray to be a woman. Hey, man, the Lord is going to put you to death. It says their blood shall be upon them. So judgment is coming. All right, just because it ain't happened yet don't mean that it's not coming. All right. All right. So 1 Peter 4:17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. So the judgment is going to start with the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And if it first began at us, what should be the end of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai? So the Lord is judging the Israelites first. That's why we catching hell. That's why we're suffering. That's why we're at the bottom. That's why we're the poor of this world. How much more for the other heathen nations? It's lucky. Dang, it's another scripture I want to get. All right. Because sentence against the evil work is not executed expediently, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So because people don't see people dying, and don't see people getting put to death because they're doing this wicked act, people are like, oh yeah, I could just do it, because nobody's getting judged, but they don't understand that the Lord hasn't put out that judgment yet. All right, so judgment is coming, man. Let's see if I can get this. A big part of one of the biggest things that Pride Month is the Pride Month flag, which is a rainbow. All right, and the Lord set up the rainbow to be something completely different. Let's read what these people got it. The rainbow flag is a universal symbol of the LG, pride and safe spaces and equal rights. Created in 1978 by San Francisco artist Gilbert Baker, it features a distinct color spectrum meant to reflect both the diversity of the community and specific symbolic meanings. And I bet you it's an Edomite, Scripture says we're not supposed to follow after the ways of them. Let's see if I can find that. See, he an Edomite. What does Scripture say? Alright. So Jeremiah chapter 10:2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh. Alright, let's start it for 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Lord is speaking to us and telling us what to do. Alright, the Lord is not dealing with no other nation but the Hebrew Israelites. Alright. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, learn not the way of the heathen. All right, the heathens, these other nations, all right, those that don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, those that are outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So we're not supposed to learn the ways of the heathen, all right? Because it was never set up for us to follow after the ways of these Edomites. All right, so yeah, the rainbow flag, all right, it's a big symbol of, the so-called LG, you know what? All right, so let me get this. All right, so why did God create the rainbow? In the Bible, Yahweh made the rainbow as a visible sign of his promise to humanity. That's why we have rainbows. That's why when it rains, you see a rainbow. According to the book of Genesis, after the flood waters receded, Yahweh placed the rainbow in the sky as a covenant with Noah, all right, which was an Israelite, and all living creatures that he would never again destroy the earth with a worldwide flood. So the whole reason that we have rainbows, all right, is to be as a sign, according to Yahweh Shem Shai, is a sign of peace, that the Lord wouldn't flood the earth again. But these people took it and they made it into something totally wicked. All right, it's a symbol of mercy. A symbol of mercy. The rainbow appears immediately after a storm, serving as a reminder of Yahweh's loving restraint, faithfulness, and grace. All right. In the original Hebrew, the word used for rainbow is cassette, which translates to a war bow, like an archer's bow. By pointing the bow away from the earth and toward the heavens, it symbolizes Yahweh laying down his weapons and establishing peace with humanity. All right, so that's why the rainbow was created. Was it created for, the rainbow agenda? The LG. You know what? It's completely off. And you can see it. Look at this. The Lord's not dealing with this, man. All right. A man is not supposed to dress up in the same garments as a woman, just like a woman is not supposed to dress as the same garments as a man. All right, it's completely off. It's completely wrong. Let me see if I can find some pictures. You have men dressing as women. You have women dressing as men. All right, this is completely wrong. And for you women that's dating, transformers or women that became men or men that became women, that's completely off. All right, the Lord is not dealing with this. All right, let's see if I can grab the scripture. This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on the woman's garment. So you're not supposed to wear a dress, a skirt, makeup. All right, just like a woman is not supposed to be wearing manly garments. All right, for all that do so are abomination to the Lord thy God. So if you want to, cause the Lord disgust, you want the Lord to be angry with you, you want to cause the Lord unsavory smell, hey man, go ahead, do your thing. If you want to be destroyed, go ahead, be a rainbow warrior. All right, but if you want to please Yahweh Shem Shai, you would do away with that. All right, because the Lord is not dealing with same-sex marriage. All right, he's not dealing with women and men dressing up in each other's garments. All right, it's completely off. What else could we get? Okay, let's get this. Why did God destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? Okay, this is an example of why the Lord will destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. The Lord did the same thing. He's going to do the same thing to America. All right, for all the wickedness that they're doing. Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah due to widespread moral corruption and systematic failure to care for the vulnerable. Rather than a single offense, the Bible describes a culture defined by pride, greed, injustice, and violent, inhospitable toward outsiders and the poor. Alright? In the Bible, the sin of Sodom is not described as a single act, but rather a combination of severe transgressions. While commonly associated with sexual immorality, the scriptures most explicitly define Sodom's ultimate ruin as a systematic failure to care for the vulnerable, combined with extreme arrogance and hospitality. No. Let's get the scripture. Alright, let's get the scripture. You know, two angels came there and they was trying to rape the men, rape the angels. Alright, Jude 1:7. Even in Sodom and Gomorrah, the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication. You see same-sex marriages, having sexual immorality, going after strange flesh, man with man, woman with woman, are set forth for example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. The Lord is going to burn it up. Alright? And the Lord said, because of the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, because their sin is very grievous, right? They were committing sin after sin. Adultery, you know, same-sex marriages, you know, just being completely wicked, man. The Lord destroyed them for that. Alright? So, the Lord is not dealing with Sodom, alright, according to scriptures. So, Lord willing, this us was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, infinite glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai Bahashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule what to teach what tells us truth. And the hearty Shalom Talaki and the Aqua tuning in. Shalom.